Geoff James Nugent, known professionally as Jim Jefferies, is an Australian comedian, actor, and writer who holds dual Australian and American citizenship. He created and starred in the American FX sitcom Legit and the Comedy Central late night show The Jim Jefferies Show. Born February 14th, Valentine's Day, 1977, excuse me, in Sydney, Australia. Children too. What's up, guys? George the Cloud here. My name is Jorge, aka George. Welcome to the channel and welcome to my life. Today we're checking out, for the first time ever on this channel, a Jim Jefferies piece, and just reading a little bit about him because I never had before. I think I have seen him just based on his face. I'm pretty sure I have seen something from him. Probably not this though, but we're gonna check it out. It is Gun Control Part 1 from Bear Netflix special. Oh wait, is this even the right video? This is a special request by Blue Dog, a friend of the channel. And excuse me because I'm going back to her comment. By the way, guys, if you really want me to react to something, then please join the channel and I will do it. I will totally do it. Okay, Gun Control Parts 1 and 2. If you want a wonderful learning message in a comedy format. All right, so we're gonna check out the Part 1 and then we'll go to Part 2 because they're not together in one video for my convenience. I will watch both then. One video and then immediately after the other. So let's get started here. We are going to Part 1. Get some popcorn, fill up your water, put your headphones on. Let's go. I'm gonna watch both parts in this one video, so it's gonna be a longer video. Don't fear the longer videos, guys. It is just more content for your pleasure.
Now, before I start saying this, I want to say this, right? I believe.
Yeah, I know that voice anywhere. I've heard his voice. Has he also been in a movie? In a comedy movie with like Adam Sandler or somebody like that? Could be.
Your right as Americans to have guns. I'm not trying to stop you from. Now, before I start saying this, I want to say this, right? I believe in your right as Americans to have guns. I'm not trying to stop you from having guns. All I'm saying is this is my personal belief on the opinion. My opinion on the... it doesn't matter. I don't like guns, right? I'm going to say some things that are just facts, right? In Australia, we had guns, right? Right up until 1996. And in 1996, Australia had the biggest massacre on earth. Still hasn't been beaten. And... Now, after that, they banned the guns. Now, in the 10 years before Port Arthur, there was 10 massacres. Since the gun ban in 1996, there hasn't been a single massacre since. I don't know how or why this happened. Maybe it was a coincidence, right? Now, please understand that I understand that Australia and America are two vastly different cultures with different people, right? I get it. In Australia, we had the biggest massacre on earth. The Australian government went, that's it, no more guns. And we all went, yeah, right then, that seems fair enough, really. Now, in America, you have the Sandy Hook massacre where little tiny children died, and
I remember the Sandy Hook massacre. This was in Connecticut, I believe, very close to Massachusetts where I lived, and it was devastating. There's so many mass shootings in the last like 15 years. I don't know why. It seems like it became popular during the Obama administration, but the Sandy Hook really hit hard for people because it was like a school and they were children. Most of the people that were killed were just like 8-year-olds. So and then I remember Joe Rogan, and not Joe Rogan. It was who was it? This other something, this conspiracy theorist that has his own show, that he said it was fake, the Sandy Hook massacre was staged and it wasn't real, and he got sued for like $1 billion. Who was that? Who was that guy? Alex something. But okay, let's continue.
Government went, maybe we'll get rid of the big guns. And 50% of you went, fuck you, don't take my guns. So
50%. Is he really
here's
showing
where it
America?
gets confusing, right? Now, as I said, I am all for your Second Amendment rights. I think you should be able to have guns. It's in your Constitution. What I am not for is bullshit arguments and lies. There is one argument and one argument alone for having a gun, and this is the argument. Fuck off. I like guns. It's not the best argument, but it's all you've got. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with saying, I like something, don't take it away from me. But don't give me this other bullshit. The main one is, I need it for protection. I need to protect me. I need to protect my family. Really? Is that why they're called assault rifles? Is it? Never heard of these fucking protection rifles you speak of? Protection.
The irony, right? They're called assault rifles for assaulting, not protection rifles.
What the fuck are you talking about? You have a gun in your house. You're 80% more likely to use that gun on yourself than to shoot someone else. And people think, well, that'll never happen to me. You don't know that, because you know what? From time to time, we all get sad. One day you're happy, then you're sad, and then, it was... Protection. I had a break-in in Manchester, England, where I was tied up. I had my head cut. They threatened to rape my girlfriend. They came through the window with a machete and a hammer. And Americans always go, well, imagine if you had a gun. And I'm like, all right. I was naked at the time. I wasn't wearing my holster. I wasn't staring at the window waiting for cunts with machetes to come through. Like, what world do you live in where you're constantly fucking ready?
It's so true. I mean, I really agree with this guy, and I could make so many comments about this topic, but it's one thing, it's one of those things that I picture in my head. Okay, yeah, let's say somebody goes into your house. Usually this happens at night when you're sleeping, disoriented, not prepared. And okay, what happens if I have a gun? It's not like I'm going to be sleeping with the gun right in my hand, like ready to go. It's going to be, under the bed or in a drawer next to the bed or something. By the time I realize what's happening, like I already have my hands in the air. I don't have time to reach down and grab for the gun, or else they'll just shoot me in that case, right? It's gonna be like a very rare case that you're gonna be super prepared and that you'll be able to shoot them. And that's the thing. It's like if you have no training for using a gun, then it's just like a useless weapon at that point. You're better off fighting with your hands, something that you're more comfortable with. But if somebody's, going into your house, they have guns, they probably have practiced this before, done it many times, and they're used to, that sort of action. You are not. So they already have the upper hand. And it's just like he's saying, that there's the probabilities of you like winning in that situation are close to none. And like he's saying, you're more likely to use it on yourself or in any other. Like I could imagine somebody's like, okay, yeah, I have this gun just for protection, right? But you're driving, you get road rage, and you're thinking, I do have this gun in the glove compartment that I could use. Why not? Right? It's like you have something, you're gonna want to use it unconsciously because you have it, and it's gonna be tough to separate that line, right? To like you need a lot of self-control and a ton of trust on yourself to not use that gun in inappropriate situations, right? Only for self-defense. I don't think so. So he's right. He's nailing it. He's telling it how it is.
You have guns because you like guns. That's why you go to gun conventions. That's why you read gun magazines. None of you give a shit about home security. None of you go to home security conventions. None of you read Padlock Monthly. None of you have a Facebook picture of you behind a secure door going, fucking yeah. Like you're going to be ready if someone comes into your house. You have it at all fucking time. By the way, most people who are breaking into your house just want your fucking TV. You think that people are coming to murder your family? How many fucking enemies do you have? Geez, you think a lot of yourself if you think everyone's coming to murder you. See, if you have it readily available, it becomes unsafe. You have it in your bedside table, one of your kids picks it up, thinks it's a toy, shoots another one of your kids. Happens every fucking day. People go, that'd never happen in my house because I'm a responsible gun owner. I keep my guns locked in a safe.
And that's what I'm thinking. I'll go back in this. If you guys remember Alec Baldwin in one of his movies, right? He was filming a movie. They were in the middle of nowhere, and I think there was a lot of things going into this case. But he accidentally shot a gun that was loaded, and I believe killed somebody from the movie set that wasn't supposed to have. How do you have a loaded gun for a movie? Like what that would have had to go through like so many steps and people to make sure it was safe to use and things were ready and stuff like that. So if this could happen in like a Hollywood film set, that you used it in the wrong situation, you killed somebody accidentally, then it could definitely happen to you in your house randomly, or your kids, somebody like that.
I'm a responsible gun owner. I keep my guns locked in a safe. Then there's no fucking protection! Someone comes into the house, you're like, wait there, fuckface. Oh, you've come to the wrong house here, buddy boy. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna fuck you up. Okay. Is it 32 to the left or 32 to the right? Your mother's birthday? Why the fuck would I know your fucking mother's birthday?
The only way that might work is that if you convince the robbers or the people that whatever you're taking out, that's where the jewelry is. That's where you keep the money or whatever. It's like, okay, give me all your money. Give me, you're precious. Then it's like, okay, wait a minute. It's in this safe. And you go to open the safe and there's a gun. You turn around, and then you get them. But that's more of a movie scene.
Birthday. Maybe if you didn't leave the window open because it's too hot in here, we wouldn't be getting fucking murdered, right? I find the NRA to be hard work. But the fact that they always think the answer is more guns. After Sandy Hook happened, the NRA said, and I quote, "None of this would have happened if the teachers had guns." I think they're forgetting what school was like.
It's like the one answer they have for this is, okay, yeah, you would, like, none of these mass shootings would happen if people had guns. What, in any situation? Sandy Hook, okay, so the teachers, what, needed guns in that school? What's next? Like the kids? What about the movie theater shooting? Oh, if those people, going into the movie theater eating popcorn, if all of them had guns, or maybe the cashier or the person making you popcorn, if they had a gun, they would have been able to. It's like just in any random situation. If you have a mass shooting at a church, oh, if only the priest had and the altar servers had guns, then it wouldn't have happened. What logic is that?
Anyone remember that casual teacher that used to, whenever she came onto school, that relief teacher came, you and your friends would see her and go, oh, we're going to make her cry. And then she'd stand in front of the class with a bit of chalk and her hands would be shaking. And you go, you're never getting married, are you, miss? Never going to happen for you. Then she'd get back to a 1967 Volkswagen Beetle, she'd be crying over the steering wheel, just, why don't they like me? Let's give that cunt a gun and see how things work out. And then they go, oh, well, answer to that, we'll just add more guns. They go, we'll put an armed security guard at every school across America. Yeah, that'll work out. The average security guard in America earns $16 an hour. Not a lot of wiggle room to be a fucking hero. Someone comes onto the school and you've got Kevin. Now, I'm sure Kevin's shit hot at Call of Duty, but it might not fucking cut it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I understand that when I'm doing this joke in this room, 50% of you agree with me, 50% of you don't agree with me. And I do respect the people who don't agree with me. Don't think I don't. The 50% that don't agree with me, 20% of those people are smart enough to realise this is a comedy show and it's not to be taken seriously, and they're laughing along because it's just funny jokes, right? And then the next 20% are sort of phased out a little bit and looking around going, I wonder how they got that chandelier up there. And then there's the last 10%, and they're fucking furious. Right now, in this room, and the people watching at home, 10% of you are fucking seething. Just... And for a couple of reasons. First reason, I'm making good points.
It's true. It's true. Oh, wow. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, part 1. Now, moving on to part 2. Get ready. Stay in your bathroom break. Pause the video. Go to the bathroom. Get some popcorn if you didn't already have it. Make that phone call that you have to make. Go wash the dishes or something, and then get ready because we're starting part 2. Well, like, subscribe. I'm doing it already. Let's go. We begin.
Second reason, and this is the big one. I'm foreign. And that's pissing the fuck out of you right now.
Exactly. Why? How's an Australian talking about things in America for us? Like, what is it? What do they have to do? That a lot of people. It's so true. Everything he's saying, I could totally picture people being completely furious about him making all these points. But I mean, he's right.
Brain is on a loop and you can't fucking turn it off, and it's just going around in a circle, and you're just going, if you don't like it, go home. If you don't like it, go home. And my answer to that is no. Came here legally, I pay my taxes, I'll say whatever the fuck I want. Your First Amendment means that I can say the Second Amendment sucks dicks. And unless you're an American Indian, you're a fucking immigrant as well, so fuck off. People get so precious about it. Like, I understand that to Americans your Constitution is very important. I respect it, but please understand that every country has one as well. It's no more special than any other Constitution. We have one in Australia. I don't know what it says. I've never seen it. If there's a problem, we'll check it, but everything's going fine. And don't get me wrong, I get that the Constitution's important to you. I get it, right? I've had people come up to me in my face and scream at me in car parks as I'm leaving the theatre, going, you cannot change the Second Amendment. And I'm like, yes, you can. It's called an amendment. Like, if you can't change something, it's called an amendment. See, many of you need a thesaurus more than you need a constitution. And if you don't know what a thesaurus is, get a dictionary, work your way forward.
See, that's the other thing. The Constitution was written like 250 years ago when things were different. You know, that it's like you have a right to bear arms. Yeah, the society was different, times were different. That's not going to apply to the 21st century or 500 years from now. So it's something that definitely needs to be changed, adapted to the times. And it's not like we're not barbarians anymore. It's something that it's just outdated.
Don't think your constitution is set in stone. You've changed things before. You used to have prohibition in there, right? And then people were like, hey, who likes getting fucked up? Yeah, I like getting fucked up too. Let's get that one out. Let's get that one out. You used to have this other thing in America called slavery. And then Lincoln came along and went, that's it, no more slaves. And 50% of you went, fuck you, don't take my slaves. And then the same bullshit arguments came out that you have with guns. Why should I have my slaves taken off me? I'm a responsible slave owner. I am trained in how to use my slaves safely. Just because that guy mistreated his slaves doesn't mean that my rights should be taken away from me. I use my slaves to protect my family. I keep my slaves locked in a safe. That's the thing. Why should I have my guns taken off me? I've done nothing wrong. Look, I agree with you. If you're a responsible gun owner and you don't fuck around with them, then you should be allowed your guns. You really should. But that's not how society works. We have to play to the 1% that are such fuckwits they ruin it for the rest of us. We have to walk as slow as our slowest person to keep society fucking moving, right? I take drugs like a fucking champion, right? We should all be allowed to take fucking drugs, but we can't, can we? Because Sarah took drugs and she stabbed the fucking kids. Thanks, Sarah, you fucked it up for everyone, right? Everyone should be allowed to drive their car as fast as they can do it, right? But we can't because Jonathan got drunk and ran over a family. Thanks, Jonathan! Now I have to drive at 30, you fucking idiot! See, that's the thing. Why should I have my guns taken off me? I'm responsible just because that guy's crazy. Who's to say you're not crazy? That's the thing about crazy people. They don't know they're crazy. That's what makes them crazy. The only thing you know for sure on this earth is I think, therefore I am. You know that you exist. Anything past that is open to interpretation, right? You know you exist and that's it. Right now, I think I'm in Boston talking to 1,200 people. That's what I think I'm doing. But
Boston. Oh, man. What a throwback. I used to live in Boston, guys. So many years there. Damn.
there is a good to fair chance that I'm in a mental home standing in front of a white wall going, I hate guns, I hate guns, I hate guns. See, one of the better arguments is, well, if you take the guns away, then only the criminals will have guns. Not true. When they banned the guns in Australia, it worked. When they banned them in Britain, it worked. Okay. That Bushmaster gun that the kid was going to use in Sandy Hook cost like $1,000 American. You can buy it in Walmart. It'll be delivered to your house. That's it, man. $1,000, right? That same gun in Australia on the black market costs $34,000. Now, if you have $34,000, you don't need to be a criminal. You've got $34,000. You're a great little saver. Keep going. So that covers the criminals, but that doesn't cover the people who want to murder your family, that are coming after you and your family. It kind of does. Like, the people who do the massacres, it covers them because, okay, the kid at Colorado who thought he was the Joker, let's say that he had some social issues. The kid at Sandy Hook was Asperger's as fuck. Right? I don't know if you know a lot about the black market, but you can't just rock up at the docks going, guns! Who wants to sell me a gun?
That's even a great point that I hadn't thought about. If you ban guns, then, you know, the way to get them would be the black market, the dark web, under the radar, which would be a lot more complicated. and I think most people wouldn't be able to access, right, like those uh those systems and stuff. And then if they're more rare, then they would become more expensive. That's what he's saying. And if they're that expensive and you're able to purchase them, then you already have the money. Why would you need to, if you're doing it for, if you're like trying to rob a bank, like that's not, so your motivation wouldn't be to get money. It would just be to cause harm to others. But if you're that mentally like unstable, then the point he's making is that maybe you wouldn't have the intelligence to be able to access those markets because you're already kind of wacky. So it's a good point.
Now, I'm going to wrap this up. We won't talk about it anymore. Now, see, the one thing that I do really agree with the right to bear arms, I really agree with that. The real reason it was written was so that you could form a militia to fight against a tyrannical government. In case the government became a bunch of cunts, you could all get your guns and fight back. And that's why it was written. Yeah! And that made a hell of a lot of sense when it was just muskets. But you do know the government has drones, right? You get that? You're bringing guns to a drone fight. Like, if we went back to muskets, I'm all for it. Keep the Second Amendment. If we all have muskets, muskets are awesome. Every cunt should be carrying a musket with them at all times. You know what's good about the musket? It gives you a lot of time to calm down.
That's all the time you
Someone
load a
calls your
musket.
wife fat and you're like, fuck you, buddy. Ah, you're not a bad guy. You're all right.
There it is. There you have it. Making the points that need to be said. What can I say, guys? I completely agree with this guy. Also, this is comedy at the end of the day, but he's talking about a serious topic, and maybe it's the way to go about it, because people get very like sensitive when you talk about serious topics in a serious way. So maybe the best way to talk about sensitive topics is through comedy and things like this. I completely agree with the fact that you can't solve the mass shootings problem in the US with just providing more guns, making them more legal. It doesn't make any sense. Like it makes a little bit of sense if you think about it with just like the most basic, like down to earth. I don't know, like if you just go by your natural instincts, you're like, okay, yeah, I'll just, if to fight guns, we need more guns, and that, but then you just apply logic to it and realize that it doesn't work, that it hasn't worked. Like how many years have to go by, how many mass shootings, how many people have to get killed in order for the government to realize that it's, that's not the way. And that probably goes deeper than that. Maybe, the government probably does know, but it's just a business, right? The gun business is huge and they make money off of it. So it's just it's a bit of a mafia, and maybe that's why they don't change the laws. I don't know, but this was cool. This was awesome. I have seen this guy before, a really long time ago, but not this conversation. If you guys have more suggestions from Jim Jefferies, that you want me to check out, by all means, hit the comment section, hit the like, subscribe, share, recommend, all that. At the end, do a flip. Till the next.
Thanks for watching.